Hello, Reza and Marziar. I hope you two are doing good. My name is Hardik Kumar, and this is my Python assignment 1. Today I'm going to show you my code and how it works. First, we have our employees list and items list. Then we have our types list with hourly and manager in it. Then we have our function getValidNumber. This function asks the user for an input and it checks whether the input is null or not and if it's an integer or not. And if the input fulfills both the conditions, then gets returned back to the function, or otherwise it prints the line saying please enter a number and the function restarts. After this, we have our getValidInput function. This function asks the user for a string, which after user inputs the string, it checks whether the string is null or not, and if it fulfills this condition, then the input gets returned back to the user, get returned back to the function. Otherwise, it prints the line, you did not write anything, please try again. And the user gets to try again. After this, we have our getValidType function. This function is useful when the user is creating an employee and they want to specify an employee type. This function takes the user input and checks whether the user input is null or not, and checks whether the input they put for the employee type is in lowercase and present in our types list. If the user input fulfills both these conditions, then it gets returned to the function. If not, then the line prints called please enter one of the following values, hourly, manager. Now we have our create employees function, which, like the name describes, creates employees. First, it asks for the employee ID using our getValidNumber function. Then it asks for the employee name using our getValidInput function. After that, it asks for the employee type, which uses the getValidType function. Here, user can specify whether they want to create an hourly employee or a manager employee. After this, it asks for the number of years worked by the employee using our getValidNumber function. And after that, it asks for the employee discount number value using our getValidNumber function. And at last, it initializes total discount and total purchase is equal to 0. Why? Because when a new employee is created, of course he hasn't purchased anything, so the total amount of discount he received is 0. And because he hasn't purchased anything, so the total amount of purchased is also 0. If the employee has been created successfully, then the line prints saying employee with ID, whatever the ID was, has been added successfully. If not, then the function restarts and the user gets to add all the details again. After creating the employee, the function asks the user if they want to add another employee. If they type Y, then the function restarts and they're able to add another employee. If they type no or N, then the function stops. Then we have our print employees function. This function simply prints all the details of all the employees. Simple. After this, we have our create item function, which is similar to our create employees function. This function asks for the item name using our getValidInput function. It asks for the item number using our getValidNumber function. And lastly, it asks for the item price, again using our getValidNumber function. If the item has been created successfully, then the line prints saying item with ID string whatever the ID was has been added successfully. If not, then the function restarts and the user is able to enter details again. After this, if the item has been added successfully, then the function asks the user if they want to add another item. If they type Y, then the function restarts and they are able to add another item. If they type no or N, then the function stops. After this, we have our print items function, which just prints all the items with all their attributes, like their values. After this, we have our print menu function, which just prints the main menu that the user sees. After this, we have a get menu options function, which takes the input from the user. on the main menu. Like if they type 1, the create employee function gets triggered. If they type 2, the create item function gets triggered. If they type 3, the make purchase function gets triggered, and so on. After this, we have a make a purchase function. This function uh, comes in handy when the user types 3, and it helps them make a function. First, it asks the user for the employee discount number so that it can identify which employee it is, and it it checks the user input, checks if the user input is null or not, and it checks if it's an integer or not, which is present in the employees list. After this, it asks for the item number of the item the user wants to purchase, and it checks whether the item number is null or not, and it's present in the items list. After this, it asks the user to confirm their purchase. If they type Y, then the discount calculator function gets triggered, and it calculates the price after the discount. If they type no, then the list get employee summary gets printed. After this, we have our discount calculator function. This function is what runs the make a purchase function. This calculates the discount according to the hourly employee or manager employee. Next, we have our display employee summary function. This function simply just prints the employee summary along with all the details. Plus, it gives you the option to go back to the menu or exit the program. After this, we have our handle menu option function. This one again handles the user input on the main menu. If the user enters 1, then it triggers the create employees function. If the user enters 2, it triggers the create item function. If the user enters 3, then it triggers the make a purchase function. And if the user enters 4, then it prints the employee summary list. If the user enters 5, then the program quits. And that's it. And now I'll run the program. Here is our main menu. Let's create an employee. Employee number is 1. Let's type in my name for the first employee. Manager. Number of years worked 20. Discount number 1. I want to add another employee. Yes. Number 2. Name is Harry. Employee type hourly. Years worked 20. Discount number 2. I don't want to add another employee. Now we make an item. Name of the item. Let's say laptop. Item number 1. Cost of the item $200. I don't want to add another item. Now let's make a purchase. As you can see, we have the items list and the employee list so that you can conveniently see all the details. Enter your employee discount number. First, I will do for the manager 1. Item number 1. Yes, I want to make the purchase. Here is the cost. It's $116. Yes, I want to make another purchase. Now I'll do for the hourly employee. Enter the item number. 1. Are you sure you want to purchase this item? Yes. It's $116 again. No, I don't want to make a purchase again. Now I'll just exit the program. That's it.